Party does not want me as a leader.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And then, of course, I don't get involved in that.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning. Here.
I'm here to check that.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me.
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth is not trickling down to the people of Guyana.
There will be additional questioning that is required. And then, of course, I don't get involved in that.
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning. Here.
I'm here to check that.
Yeah, brother.
This man tell me.
I am aware that the People's Progressive Party does not want me as a leader.
Here.
The FBI is doing their investigation. Some aspect is coming back.
Wealth
Yeah, brother.
It is important for Venezuela to understand that Guyana will not be bullied, threatened, or intimidated.
Hello, good morning.
Good night, guys. A great night to all of those who tuned in to the realest thing in the world, coming to you from Guyana TBN Studios with Progress Report. Over recent weeks, I have been making you guys aware, as everybody else in the news have been talking. The Vice President spoke about it, the President spoke about it, the Foreign Affairs Minister spoke about it, about a Maduro Mohameds connection. I have told you that Mohameds has not chosen a prime ministerial candidate as of today's date, just 2 days before the election. Well, just 1 day before our regional and general election, a very important and significant election in Guyana. They've not chosen a prime ministerial candidate. I've told you that is because Maduro prefers to choose a prime ministerial candidate. I've told you, and when I tell you these things, is because I am in receipt of information. I told you that there was a Mohamed Maduro connection, and people played it down. Now, the US authorities knew of a Mohamed Maduro connection way before the local authorities learned of it. As you know, the US and local authorities have a growing relationship where they're sharing information, they're working together to fight corruption, they're working together to fight drug smuggling in Guyana. That has even seen one senior police officer being sanctioned. The first set of individuals to ever be sanctioned in the history of Guyana was the Mohamed duo, Father Nazar Mohamed and son Azzedine Mohamed. Nazar Shell Mohamed, Azzedine Imtiaz Mohamed. Also sanctioned were a number of their businesses: Mohamed's Enterprise, Hadi's World, and Team Mohamed. all sanctioned entities. I brought it to the attention of the citizenry of this country. But some people turn a blind eye and support a traitor to our country. When the foreign secretary, the foreign minister of Guyana, called the Venezuelan ambassador and asked him, he said Nazar Mohammed went to the embassy for a visa. When Nazar Mohammed was asked, Azadin Mohammed was asked, Hannah Mohammed was asked, they said that they know nothing about it. Now I will tell you here, there is evidence that exists to suggest Azadin Mohammed paid several visits to the Venezuelan embassy. Nazar Mohammed recently, just before the Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana was summoned by our foreign minister, Nazar Mohammed visited the Venezuelan embassy, the last person for the Mohammed family to visit the Venezuelan embassy was Nazar Mohammed recently. They have never returned to the Venezuelan embassy since it became public of their many visits to the embassy. I am telling you, the colors of the Mohammed party is a color directly picked by no other than Maduro himself. A color not in tandem with anything in Guyana's flag or in Guyana, blue. Nothing. You could search none of Guyana's history books and find anything with blue. That was given to Azadin Mohammed by Maduro. I put it to you. Azadin Mohammed has not announced, they could come and announce a prime ministerial candidate tonight or tomorrow to cover up this. But I've already said it, he has not announced a prime ministerial candidate as yet, because Maduro was hoping to have the laws changed to put in a person of Venezuelan Guyanese ancestry as prime ministerial candidate. If the metaversical idea of Mohammed becoming president were ever to come true. Now, I've told you on several occasions. What I have not told you is the government of Guyana only recently learned of the Maduro-Mohammed relation. The US government, on the other hand, had this information for quite some time now. It started with them realizing that the gold smuggled by Mohammed would have been Venezuelan gold. Lots of Venezuelan gold was integrated into Guyana's gold. The money laundering, of which money laundering and gold smuggling are some of the things that the Mohammeds have sealed indictments for in the US. The funds went back directly to Maduro. The opposition, who clearly has funded from Mohammeds to stay quiet, might not have known that this was a ploy and that genuinely Mohammed was a Maduro puppet. Nazar Mohammed did a lengthy interview with Stabrook News, which he said, let the vice president produce the evidence. The vice president said he stakes his career that the Mohammeds visited the embassy. Why wouldn't you say, I visit the embassy for visa, for vacation? Because all Guyanese know that thousands of Venezuelans come to Guyana. Venezuela is no place for anybody to go. Tonight, I present to you evidence of the Mohamed Maduro connection. Mohamed could come tomorrow and Sunday and spin this, because this evidence that you will be given is the last video footage or the last bit of evidence of a lot of evidence. Again, the Guyanese authorities were in the dark. The US authorities have known of a Maduro Mohammed connection for years. That was a part of the investigation. And I must inform you, if you've never been informed before, the escalation in the South Caribbean Sea. As much as Guyana is not mentioned every time in that, Mohameds is on the radar. Do you find it strange? Nothing escalated in Venezuela. No more drugs started going through. The only thing that's escalated in this region is that September the 1st is election. That is 2 days from now. That is the only thing that's changed in this region. Maduro is still the criminal mastermind America sees him as. And drugs was going from Venezuela and Colombia for a long time. It has since reduced. I can tell you, if you could read between the lines, authorities are on high alert, and Guyanese could play games with their lives and livelihood. There is no worry as to Azzedine Mohammed ever becoming president. Today's concern, seriously discussed concern at certain high levels, is will the PNC survive this? And what is more worrying is when the PNC to some extent is dissolved, their cries, because they've already seen the writing on the wall. Azzedine Mohammed has never came out and disputed a Mohamed Maduro connection. His father asked for evidence to be produced. Now, no reason. There is no other Guyanese that goes to the Venezuelan embassy or has gone to the Venezuelan embassy in recent years for a visa. And imagine one of the wealthiest Guyanese going for a visa for a vacation. That is what was communicated to our foreign minister by Guyana's Venezuelan ambassador, or Venezuelan ambassador to Guyana. Venezuela's ambassador to Guyana. In this trying time, Nazar and Azzedine Mohammed has intentions of which they just went to Barbados. Why not go back to Barbados? Because that was a one-time offer where they went to Barbados in an attempt to divulge or suggest they had information that could bring down the government, hoping to get off with that. That didn't work. The Azembash video was one, and there's several other videos of drug dealers giving video recorded confessions that the Mohameds took to Barbados, that then saw a number of other drug dealers and one senior police officer being placed on the US OFAC sanction list. Azadin Mohamed and Nazar Mohamed denied their visits to the Venezuelan embassy. Tonight, the Guyanese critic present to you evidence of same. Evidence of what I've been saying for several months. There's a Maduro Mohameds connection. Evidence that the local authorities only recently learned of, but US authorities have known all along. I present to you the evidence. What you're looking at is video footage from just outside the Venezuelan embassy. This here is time-stamped and dated the 7th of this month. As recent as the 7th of this month. It is a 1 minute 19-second video. Now, I will go to a photo to ensure we have the utmost clarity. This is a photo of the area. This here is Optical Works. If you know where the Venezuelan embassy is, because people are going to come and try to spin this all about. But Guyanese can say they were forewarned and the critic gave it to you. That is what you can't dispute. Right? Azadin Mohamed and Nazar Mohamed speaks directly through secure lines with Maduro from the Venezuelan embassy. US authorities have known this all along. The local authorities only learned of this months now. Now, to give you an area, this here is the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. This is the corner. This here is Optical World. Straight across from Optical World is the Venezuelan embassy right here. We go to video footage. Of the happenings. So this is video footage of the day, the last day Nazar Mohamed visited the Venezuelan embassy when it was made public. The last day. This is Nazar Mohamed here being led across with an umbrella. Y'all know the big man there? Y'all know the big man there? Y'all know the man there? People can say, I can't sure if I'm going to see him. Well, the truth is, Nazar Mohamed does wear the same clothes nearly every day. And how much people you know, one man does walk with an umbrella for cover, the other man, they got one son and a father like that. And they deserve being billionaires, they're deserving of it. Right? Now, I'm breaking it down for you. This look similar? That look similar? All right, look at this. This here is Nazar Mohammed, close up, right? He has the same dress code every time. And he's known to be sneaking in and out of places. This is here when he cut a deal with Nigel Hughes to stay quiet and sell out the AFC support base. Well, mislead them, not sell them out. Now, let's go back to the video footage. Again, you are looking at video footage of Nazar Mohammed leaving the Venezuelan embassy, which his son initially and daughter initially denied. Now, I must tell you, there is evidence that places Azzedine Mohammed several times at the Venezuelan embassy. Why would anybody deny going to an embassy? Because unlike the American embassy in Guyana, the Indian embassy in Guyana, the Chinese embassy in Guyana, the Brazilian embassy in Guyana, the Surinamese embassy in Guyana, unlike those embassies, nobody wants to go to Venezuela. What is Mohammed doing at the Venezuelan embassy? Every Guyanese by now should be aware that Venezuelans are fleeing their own country. No Guyanese who doesn't have an interest in Venezuela or direct connection and family in Venezuela has an interest in going to Venezuela. Especially not one of the most prominent Guyanese businessmen. And an individual who has been sanctioned by US authorities and accused of relations with Maduro. Look at the video closely. This is Nazar Mohammed here. You see the vehicle? You see the vehicle with the yellow number plate? You know the yellow number plate as well. It's the embassy vehicle. He goes into his vehicle. Now some are going to dispute the clarity of the video. We will sort that out. By the way, this is the 7th of this month, the last visit, and go and check, see when Hugh Todd called in the Venezuelan ambassador and questioned him. So look at this. The vehicle comes out. Will Nazar Mohammed and Azzedine Mohammed come now and speak to their relations with Maduro? Can they speak to why they don't have a prime ministerial candidate as yet? I am saying to you, as a matter of fact, that is a position that Maduro wanted to choose. Can Azzedine Mohammed suggest the background for the color? I am suggesting to you, as a matter of fact, The color blue was chosen by Maduro. Now let's get in to things of evidentiary value. I have a separate photo of the car that is leaving the location. This is a separate photo of the car. Can you see the car number? The car number is PAG 3664. What does that mean? Anybody can tell me what does that mean? Well, let me tell you what it means. I have the information here. PAG 3664 is registered to a Nazar Mohammed. It's a Cougar Ford. Kugar. Now, here what I'm telling you. You ever hear, but I never hear about it before. You can't miss the car. This car coming behind there looks like a Toyota Harrier. You could see it. You understand? This car here look like a Toyota Alex. This car here look like a CRV. Don't look like a Fielder wagon. Don't look like one of them Nissan Crapo. There's a highest minibus. You understand? You see them vehicle. This car is a unique car. It's a Ford Cougar. You can't miss it. Nazar Mohammed is the owner of a Ford Cougar. Let the old criminal now come and deny that he visited the Venezuelan embassy. Because you know where the problem lies? For what, Pops? Because they can't smuggle gold, launder money for Maduro, and he leave them. It is still after Barbados. The U.S. authorities, you know why the Mohammeds don't have a deal as yet? The U.S. authorities want them to state their connection and to give up Maduro. And they know that will sink them. That is why congresspersons in the U.S. said that Azzedine is a Maduro puppet after they went to Barbados and divulged information. Because they are puppets. Azzedine Mohammed and Nazar Mohammed have been Venezuelan puppets for quite some time now and have a direct connection to the Maduro regime. It was clearly stated so somebody found it funny to suggest in my as a message to me that Azzedine Mohammed has become very dark as a result of the sun and the exposure in his campaigning. But I will say to them that Azzedine Mohammed will become very fair, because you only get 1 hour sun when you're in a U.S. maximum security prison. A federal prison only gives you 1 hour of sun on a daily basis. just enough vitamin D, because there's more vitamin D in the prison than out of the prison. I would like if the Mohammeds can come now and explain. It would be very interesting if Nazar Mohammed could come and explain what. Let's look at it one more time, shall we? This is Nazar Mohammed, the last time he left the Venezuelan embassy before it was skinned up by. That's him going across the road here with somebody covering him with an umbrella. You know that, big man? You see? Right? Same big man here. Let me show you. Always going in some back thing, slipping in some way. Right? That is the man. Remember, old man is wearing like me. If it wasn't for every day people want to take a picture with you, I would have got 100 white jerseys and yes, and just wear the same thing every day. Right? That is Nazar Mohammed leaving the Venezuelan embassy for the last time on August the 7th, which he has denied on several occasions. This is the last visit by any one of the Mohammeds. Evidence exists. Yes, because the US authorities over the years have been following the Mohammed-Maduro relation and tried as much to get or make a connection and get a commitment from the Mohammeds to give explanation as to how the gold smuggling and money laundering transpires. I don't know what the Mohammeds gave them, but I know the Mohammeds have no intention of being left to dry out in the sun. So they're talking to Maduro. They go to the embassy. Are you going to come and tell me that they went to the embassy for a visa? If you know somebody who has been in recent years to the Venezuelan embassy for a visa to go to Venezuela, please enlighten me. If you are a Guyanese and you went for a visa, please come and state and show us your visa and represent Mr. Mohammed in a country that is neighboring to Venezuela with almost 1 million people. I can tell you there's no one other body. Why would Mohammed visit the Venezuelan embassy? And again, I've shown you the car. I give you the car number, which is a one-of-a-kind vehicle. Right? Let me get it and show you. One-of-a-kind vehicle, PAG 3664, that is registered to one Nazar Mohammed. Let me see, Nazar. PAG 3664. It's a Ford Cougar. I have never seen one before. Can't mix up the car. It is registered to one Nazar Mohammed, who lives at La 275 Borough Street, Republic Park. The US authorities have been in receipt of information and evidence directly related to the Maduro-Mohammed connection. It came on the radar first when gold tested in the United States of America showed its origin was from Venezuela, but it was being transited in the United States of America by Mohammed Enterprise, by extension, Azzedine and Nazar Mohammed. After that, surveillance suggested. Hello? Yeah.
I sent you a video this morning with Ramakrishna School.
No, I can't deal with it no, brother. I'll look at it. I have told you this on several occasions. I've told you who the Mohammeds are on several occasions. But once again, evidence is presented. And people start to even question themselves. Well, you don't question, ask Mohammed what this is about. Ask Mohammed why his party color is blue. Ask Azzedine Mohammed why his party color is blue. Ask Azzedine Mohammed why in the history of Guyana, he's the first political party to not have a prime ministerial candidate as yet. There are questions that needs to be answered. You see this blue here? You see the prominent blue in the Venezuelan flag? Remember, Venezuela is a big country, and Venezuela is playing that Essequibo is their own. Do you think Maduro, why would you question me telling you about the Mohammed Maduro connection? When all the questions, they're over by the Mohammeds. No reason for him running for politics. When he was asked, he said people calling him president since 2020. That's why he just decided to become the president. No explanation. No policy, on a sanction list. Nobody knew Mohammed except for the flattery he showed about himself before the sanctions. Before the spotlight came on the Mohammed family for murder. Nobody knew the Mohammeds before. I want you to look at these pictures and see what is of prominence. Do you know colors have a code? That when you go to buy a paint, it has a code. Look at the blue. Tell me where else you ever see the blue. Look at the blue that Mohammed has. Its prominence. And ask yourself where you ever else see it in Guyana. Where else have you seen? They got enough blue. Where else in our color scheme have you seen a blue? All blue. Not matters of color. Not a blue and a green from Guyana. All Mohammed has is blue. Right? You see the prominence of that color? You see the importance? You see when Maduro expresses power. Look at America when Trump talking. It's not a flag that's do prominence, but this is sending a message. This blue, it's encoded. Look at what it said. Look at the man doing a jump. We would get excited with a man jumping from a parachute. Brazil, Venezuela got a bigger flag than the man parachute with the blue. Right? Let Mohammeds come and say that it's not Maduro that has chosen that color. Let Mohammeds come and say why he doesn't have a prime ministerial candidate. Because I am saying Maduro himself wants to choose that. Guyanese, we're at a pivotal time. Listen to this.
I'm Jonathan Lander, a U.S. businessman who tried to invest in Guyana, but was defrauded. I had no ambition for political nonsense. Team Mohammed smeared my name. They pissed me off so much, I'm creating this video. Today, I'm exposing corruption to help you make the right decision when you vote on September 1st. When Venezuela threatened your sovereignty, Azzeddine Mohammed went silent. He disappeared when Guyana needed strong voices. Today, he's too afraid to face national television. We offered his campaign a U.S. TV interview, and Hannah Mohammed said, "He's too shy." I had to mute my phone and laugh out loud. A presidential candidate too shy for debates? Silence is not leadership. He claims to fight corruption, but how can a man who made his wealth from alleged corruption do that? He's accused of smuggling 10,000 kilos of gold, which equals $1 billion in profit. In essence, he allegedly robbed the Guyanese people of $50 million, profited $1 billion, and in return, he gives the people peanuts in charity to make himself look good. It's pretty smart if you think about it. His money, businesses, even campaign paraphernalia are sanctioned. His movement, can you name it? Its policies, its candidates? I can't. Days from the election, we don't know who'd run Guyana if he wins. Azzeddine's not fighting for you. He's fighting to lift his sanctions. In July, I met with Azzeddine's team, Hannah Mohammed, Max, her husband, and Charles, their supposed campaign manager. I had a lawyer and U.S. campaign manager on the phone with me. I specifically asked if Azzeddine had ties to Maduro. After an awkward pause, Hannah said, "Well, of course not." My response, if Mr. Mohammed has no ties to Maduro, then you need to file a libel lawsuit in the U.S. against the two politicians who tweeted the lie and get them to retract their statement. They never filed a lawsuit. Why do you think that is? Hannah's response, Team Mohammed is the party of anti-corruption. I had to mute the phone again and yell, "Bullshit!" They made it clear that Az only cared about himself and he only wanted to use us to help him win.
No.
I'm Jonathan Lander, a U.S. businessman who...
You take that for whatever it is. So many people have come and spoken out. The Americans have deployed troops in the South China Sea. The Americans have sanctioned the Mohammeds, their criminal enterprises and the family. The evidence have been presented to you day in, day out. Azzeddine Mohammed has never answered any question or presented any viable solutions to the problems. Do you remember when questioned in front of GCOM, Azzeddine Mohammed said the sanctions will soon be withdrawn? Can you remember? They were not supposed to be sanctioned while they're going into elections. Elections is 2 days away. When will the sanctions be lifted? He said it will soon sort itself out. Azzeddine Mohammed and Nazar Mohammed, Hannah Mohammed, her husband, and the other Mohammed sister are all delusional. Uncles, cousins, everybody else have come and spoken out. Azzeddine Mohammed's legal wife has been telling maids and everybody else how frustrating it is to have to live under the circumstances that she lives in. Many people in Azzeddine Mohammed camp only serve because of money. I don't know the extent of the PNC's involvement, but I highly suspect the PNC will never play a game with Guyana's sovereignty like associating with Maduro. What I know is that the PNC has taken a buyout to a certain extent. Now, I've presented certain evidence to you. I'll put up the video alone of Nazar Mohammed leaving the Venezuelan embassy. You take it and make what you wish of it. You can't say, I have not warned Guyanese. I have said this all the time, and I have now presented the evidence. It is up to the Mohammeds and their trolls to spin it whichever way they choose. Going to the polls, Guyanese, you must be vigilant. The Mohammeds are not who they seem to be. You have to make the right choices. Azzedine Mohammed was as close a friend to me as I would have had a brother if I had a brother. Ask yourself, with all the money in the world and the best friendship, why would I have given up that? Why would I have left? I don't want what Azzedine has. What I don't want to be is cursed. I don't want the Mohammed family curse to rub off on me. And what you're seeing is men scrambling to survive out of a crumbling empire. Not a man who has this country at heart and who has the qualities of becoming a president. It's clear as day. You can all see it, even a scrapehead. This is things that you should take seriously. Look, make informed decisions for yourself and choose wisely. Because I'm telling you, from the trajectory of what is going on with the Mohammeds, it is likely that the PNC would even fall below opposition. And you imagine having a corrupt enterprise like the Mohammeds playing a major role as opposition in the country with their connection to the Maduros, to the Maduro administration. Be careful what you wish for. Peace out. Keep it cool.
Skill train busting in everyone. PPPC make the small man large. Jobs come fast, youth on track. Cash grants drop, nobody look back. New bank coming for business loan. Pick up the hustler building from home. One dude, build on PPPC. Uplift the common man. Build up the nation. Build up the nation, PPPC. Open the hand. Open the hand of you and me. Education rights, tuition free. Ocean bloom like cherry tree. Jobs in the city, land in the plain. PPPC bring progress again. Open land over 100K. Farmers rising a real big way. Agro process, turn up the trade. Road fling village foundation laid. 6 new hospitals reach we door. Telemap touch like never before. You them click in a digital stream. On land degrees fuel the Guyanese dream. Build up the nation. Build up the nation, PPPC. Open the hand. Open the hand of you and me. Education rights. Tuition free. Housing bloom like cherry tree. Jobs in the city. Land in the plain. PPPC bring progress again. Slow it down, rootsy. Low carbon path. Future wise. Sustainable growth. Open skies, oil wealth, manage justice true. PPPC thinking about me and you. Unity strong, no divide deal. One Guyana, walking side by side. Peace in the heart, pride in the soul. PPPC playing the forward role. Fire not power the motion. Build up the nation, PPPC. Raise up the flag, for all to see. Child get tablet, mother get land, father get work with skill and pipe water run, supply stay clean. PPPC building the Guyanese dream up. From Burbis to Lethem, from coast to creek. Hear the people speak, more than a party. It's people, it's we. Together we build, together we be. One Guyana, one destiny. PPPC, build up the nation. PPPC, hope in the hand of you and me. Education rise, tuition free, housing bloom like cherry tree. Jobs in the city, land in the plain. PPPC bring progress again. From Burbis to Lethem, from coast to creek. PPPC, hear the people speak. More than a party, it's people, it's we. Together we build, together we be. One Guyana.